Okay, all of you, good morning. Okay, today I am going to explain you potentiality of water resources in Nepal. Yesterday we have learned about what is water resources, and importance of water resources in today's video. So today's video I am going to explain about potentiality of water resources. Okay, now I hope you all have book, so you can see your book also, because it's very important that a lot of data are given in your books. So we have to see your books, see our books, and have to go through it. Now, potentiality of water resources in Nepal. So there is a high potentiality of water resources in Nepal is because of abundant ability and multidimensional use of water resources. The high potential of harness water resources of Nepal is possible by formulating and implementing various integrated water resources development projects and carrying out research and development of water resources management and managing inter-country mutual benefit of water resources between Nepal and India. Now it is said that Nepal has a lot of potentiality of water resources because Nepal is a country which comes in second richest country in water resources, and there is a lot of abundant of resources or water resources in country. So if the country, if the nation, or if the government, gives top priority to these water resources, and by making multidimensional projects, by making many projects, if Nepal want to use these resources, Nepal can take a lot of benefit because it has what? Lot of potentiality. Because you know that Nepal is such country which has lot of rivers, lake ponds. So such rivers, lake ponds, you can use them in different ways, and you can take benefit from them. So it is said that Nepal is such country which has what? Lot of potentiality of water resources. So some potential of water resources are explained here, like drinking water potential in Nepal. Drinking water potential in Nepal. The Constitution of Nepal 2022 has established the fundamental rights related to health, under which every citizen shall have the right of access to clean drinking water and sanitation. On the other hand, UNDP has determined one of the sustainable goals internationally as to ensure ability and sustainability management of water and sanitation for all by 2030. But in Nepal, by the mid-March of fiscal year 2019 and 20, the access to drinking water has been reached to 90% of the total population by the basic drinking water services. Now here, what is it that the Constitution of Nepal in 2072? Now it has established that Constitution has made that people should have facility of water, drinking water, or people should have access to drinking water. That is fundamental right of public. So that constitution, so government should take focus on that, and government has right to provide access to drinking water facility to all the publics. And on the other side, this UNDP, it also has determined some international goal that by 2030, all the public of world, they should have access to safe drinking water, because if the public are not access to safe drinking water, if they doesn't have proper sanitation facility, people may suffer from different waterborne diseases. Mostly people suffer from disease due to lack of this pure drinking water. So it's very important that people to stay healthy, to keep the people healthy, the country should focus on what? Providing safe drinking water to its publics. And it is said that by the mid-March of fiscal year 2019 and 20, Nepal has managed to provide 90% people, or total populations. Out of total populations, 90% people are access to what? Drinking water services. So till now, Nepal has managed to provide drinking water facility to out on publics, 90% publics of Nepal. Okay. This data reveals that there is still number of population having no access to basic drinking water service and drinking water service of high medium level. So number of population having access to basic and high medium level drinking water can be increased by increasing drinking water resources in the country. There is high potentiality of increasing drinking water facility by extracting groundwater through boreholes and shallow tubes. It is often the most practical and economical to obtain and distribute, but the provision of testing of extracted water should be made periodically to ensure the quality of water. There is also a high potential of rainwater harvesting system in Nepal to overcome the shortage of drinking water during the dry seasons. Now the data which is given here of 2019 and 2020 shows that still many people are in Nepal, they are not access to drinking water. They are not provided drinking water facility. So government should take top priority to provide them drinking water facility. For that government can use this underground water to provide them drinking water facility. And when the government use this underground water to provide them as a drinking water facility, it is said that government they should also have a check up on periodically basis to check the quality of waters. The quality of water that they are providing to the publics as a drinking water, are they pure to drink or not? Government also should pay interest on that, should pay attention on that, whether the people are given quality water or not. Another side, if during harvesting system or during rainy seasons, government also may also can collect the rainwaters and can purify that waters and also distribute that waters through different water pipes to the publics to provide them as a safe drinking waters. So these are the solutions government can use to provide the drinking water facility to the remaining people who are not access to drinking water. Now irrigation potential in Nepal. Okay, Nepal has cultivated area of 26,41,000 hectares, but out of this 86% is potentially irrigable. At present 56% of the cultivated area has irrigation of some sort, but only 18.5% of cultivated area has year-round irrigations. In the Tarai, most of the irrigated area is through surface irrigations and the remaining through groundwaters. Most of the irrigated area are situated in fertile lowland of Tarai. The table 11.1 shows the irrigation potential in Nepal. Now here is given table also, you can see from your books. So it is said that Nepal has total cultivated land, that is 26,41,000 hectares. So out of this 86% can be irrigated or can has potentially of irrigations, and out of that it is said that at present 56% of total area is also as irrigation facility. Irrigation facility that also all round or all year, means throughout the year having irrigation facility is only how much 18.5%. So although 56% of total cultivated land they have irrigation facility, out of that there are some land which has only irrigation facility in some month and doesn't have only irrigation facility in all other months. But there are only some land or only 18.5% of total land which have irrigation facility throughout the years. So here is given data also. Here also given data and you can see the data from there. Okay, now this is for today. Thank you all of you.